All right, it's another episode of the Pin High podcast presented by Pin High Media. Adam Hadwin is an NFL slot receiver, and it's Major Week. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High podcast.
All right, let's get inside the ropes, start the week. The RBC Canadian Open, I said this on Sunday, is a product of, the elevated events and like all that just kind of getting screwed over by the U.S. Open elevated event status to not getting a great field. But I feel like the tournament didn't lack at all.
No, the tournament was great, actually.
I would argue is better than multiple elevated events.
Yeah, no, it was, because think of the storylines coming into, even just the playoff, the storylines. Tommy Fleetwood never won on the PGA Tour before. He's well known, but hasn't really gotten it done. And then Nick Taylor, the hometown hero, I guess. Everybody's behind Nick Taylor, Canadian, winning the RBC Canadian Open for the first time in 69 years, nearly 70 years. That's just crazy. So the storylines kind of helped it there.
Yeah, and obviously you get the Nick Taylor win storyline, but I actually didn't see the ending because with 3 holes left, I went to go play some golf, which is whatever. But that just goes to show that, my opinion before the Nick Taylor putt happened and before the playoff happened was still incredibly high. I was I'm having so much fun watching this tournament. I watched it Thursday, Friday, a lot of Saturday, and then most of Sunday. So it was
good tournament.
I thoroughly enjoyed that tournament.
I mean, yeah, I didn't get to watch a lot of it. I was on a trip, but Sunday we were driving back. We had on the PGA Tour radio, which radio on the golf radio is not great, but
it's not awful.
It got us through it. We were able to understand what was going on, and I walked in, and it was basically in for the last playoff hole. So, yeah, the playoff sounded great on the radio. I'll say that. A lot of testy putts there going in. But yeah, no, the RBC Canadian Open did bang again. Last year was good too.
Last year was great. Who won again? Rory.
Rory female.
Yeah.
Rory. Yeah. And last year, same thing. 2 years in a row. Last year it was the live thing, all the live guys leaving, and then this year it's the merger. So 2 years in a row that big story comes out during RBC Canadian Week, and 2 years in a row the tournament still was very good.
Yeah, I mean, not much more to be said about it. The course was great. I feel like the front 9 being the harder side was kind of weird. Holes 3 through 6 were the penalty box, right? Or 4 through 6?
Yeah, and the thing, honestly, I kind of liked that the front 9 was the hard side, because then coming down the back, you had all these guys trying to make charges, trying to get.
It was interesting.
I mean, even Hatton went crazy at the end. If he didn't double bogey, I think 80, he would have been there in the playoffs. So,
and 8's not a hard hole.
No, it's not.
He just as easily could have birdied that. I'm sure the other days of the tournament he had some birdies there, because he had some stretches throughout the tournament where he was just kind of like everybody else, kind of struggling through the penalty box or something. But then he also had stretches where it was oh my God, he's gonna birdie every single hole.
Yeah, he was. I mean, his third round Saturday was just even par. I think that's what did him in, because that was our pick last week. If you listened to the podcast last week, Hatton was our pick. We went chalky, and he started off great, and then that Saturday round kind of was in neutral the whole day, and just Sunday went off again, but wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, we still got Hatton though at he's 3rd place.
Yeah,
he ended up getting us from 245th place to 225th. So we're rolling.
Okay, yeah, not bad. We're making progress, I guess, but we do need to pick a couple more winners, especially
254 to 226. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, we're 3 mil off the lead or something like that. Not the lead, the 80th place,
Right.
which brings us to U.S. Open week. Obviously, or I mean, I guess there's still live talk to talk about, but like here's what I'll say. Obviously, there's the Jay Monahan news from last night that's just bizarre.
Out of
Hope he's
nowhere.
okay, but we're out of nowhere. Um, I'm just like I had this conversation with like somebody who asked me about it. I was like, I'm just done guessing what's gonna happen because it almost feels like Rory as somebody who like talks about this like every week I mean we talk about it every week on a podcast. It's like and we defend the PGA Tour, but then we are like, oh, live golf is okay in this way. It's like, but we just don't know what's gonna happen at the end of the day.
Hmm.
And everything I've speculated over the past, I don't know, 15 months has just been dead wrong from the jump. And I'm done speculating, and I'm done with all the drama. I just want it to be over, and I want to watch golf. I want to watch my favorite golfers. Like this
Yeah.
is the most annoying thing ever. I
I
hate it.
mean, at some point they'll hopefully be done with the whole thing, and you know, maybe next year at some point it won't be much of a thing anymore. But who
I
knows?
don't
Who
know,
knows?
and I
I
don't get
mean,
fans that are so on one side or the other. It's like you're a fan, just like root for like the people to play together.
right?
Root
Yeah, I
for
don't
the
get
good
it.
players to play against each
I
other.
mean,
It's
it's
fun.
definitely the live bots are definitely out there. They're not actually real people, so there's
I've
that.
really, you think so?
Some of them, I'm sure, are not.
I don't know.
Probably the majority of them, I would say. Actually,
Live Golf Nation is one that's just like,
that's a funny one. Yes, can't
but
believe
you really
anything
can't
that's.
tell.
Yeah,
You can't tell.
it's almost like a satire account,
Well,
but it's
it's
not.
almost like the PGA Tour versus Live is like the political parties. And it's dumb. It's just like like it's this is golf. This is sports. Like why bring like it? But it's like literally divided that exact way.
I mean, yeah. Why can't it just be everybody playing at the same time on the same tour? That's the whole. That's what we want, right? The
Why can't
majors are
everybody
great.
in the country be on the same page and want the same things?
Yeah, I guess not, but whatever. People just do it for sake of argument, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So that's all. That's all the breath that I have to give on that whole situation.
Yeah, and like all the like one more thing is like I was listening to a lot of like US Open press conferences and they were asking so many questions and like the person who was leading it on the USGA is like that's not relevant, like next question. It's a lot of the
Yeah.
time. So even somebody
Trev,
like Matt Fitzpatrick.
we have Trev just
Yeah,
joining
let
here.
me bring Trev in here real quick. Let me get that ready. Okay. Trev
Did you just get
is
him out?
on his way in. Did he just
He was
leave?
already in.
Oh, he's gone now. We had Trev, then we lost him.
I think you kicked him out.
I didn't touch it. Well then, we'll keep talking and then Trev will hop back in.
Okay. So anyway, um, all I was gonna say was when Trev was coming back in here, that was that I just didn't want to talk about live golf anymore. So let's just get into the U.S. Open.
Yeah, no, very hyped for the U.S. Open week, so I'm happy to move on to that. Trev's back,
Yes, and
hopefully just in time.
yeah, there's no reason to take anything away from it because that should be the center storyline of golf. But yeah, I'm pumped. LA Country Club. I mean, anytime you get a new course, a new venue, you don't know what's going to happen, but you also get like, you get this top 16 course in the nation, as a major championship venue. It's almost like, if like Pine Valley got a major, like it has so much allure around it, and I'm excited to see what we got.
So we got Trev back. Trev, welcome.
What's up? I'm pumped. Can't wait for this week.
Yes, I am so excited to see all of the celebrities' houses off each fairway. I already saw Lionel Richie's.
Yeah,
I'm
that one
excited
gets
to
pointed
hear.
out.
maybe a little bit about like the membership because I hear it's pretty stuffy. I just want to hear some LACC facts because I feel like the LACC facts are going to be great.
Yeah, LACC
Yeah, so,
facts are gonna come in hot. I'm sure.
Trevor, we before this podcast started filled out um, our like office football pool or joint one together. Who who's just like at the top of the leaderboard is screaming out to you?
To me,
Yeah,
I think Scotty is gonna be back this week. I think it's he can't put as worse as even like he can't put worse than he did at the Memorial, and like literally probably can't putt any worse. And he's has a new putter, I think, so he's gonna be in the honeymoon phase with his putter, and now he's be ready. Like, and it's he doesn't need to putt great, and he's just gonna like this course is gonna be about. It reminds me of Augusta, the way this course is set up. It sounds like it's
The
like wide
hills,
fairways. What?
the hills, and no flat lies.
Yeah, no flat lies. The hill, like you gotta be really creative with your shots, and like there's kind of like I saw one picture of Taylor made DJ's on like a 45-degree angle slope. It's gonna be a weird, fun golf course, and it's like it'll be so entertaining to watch, and just it reminds me of Augusta. So guys like I love Scotty. I think Rom's. I mean, all the top guys. It seems like they're gonna play well. Sounds like Victor. I think could play really well. I think Jordan. This could be a week we could see Jordan get back in the winner's circle for the majors. Like I've been thinking about him a lot and seeing this is like creative kind of place that he thrives at.
Yeah, no, Pat and I were talking about this before when we were making our other lineup, and it's like thing about the U.S. Open is they roll the greens at such a ridiculous pace that putting is almost an even field for everybody. Like
Yeah,
even if you're like a pretty bad putter, like we've seen some guys who are not great putters win the U.S. Open. Like Gary Woodland definitely pops into my mind right off the bat. But like it kind of levels the playing field in a way. You just they roll it so quick that you don't have to be the best putter. You just have to put the ball in the right place on the green and hopefully two putt.
yeah.
so
It sounds like it's gonna be just like you just have to think your way around this golf course. Like there's no like you got to be below pins. Uh, Hole 6 is gonna be so much fun to watch. Like where people are gonna like if they're gonna lay up, if
Lay
they're
up
gonna
on
go
the
for
short,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's like that hole looks so awesome. 15, the par three can play like 70 yards, which is gonna be so cool.
you said
Just
70?
watching what
You said 70?
it
The
could play
front
like
tee,
70
yeah,
yards. Yeah, front tee, front
Oh,
pin.
that the little hole is what they call it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
yeah,
And if they
So I
put
didn't
the pin,
realize it was
they have to put the
so
pin at the
backward.
front there. The pin at the front there
yeah.
would be electric.
So it's like a banana. It's such a cool hole.
70 to the pin would be hilarious in a major championship.
Which just scares me because I know Rory will just airmail the green and like he won't like he'll make double somehow. But like it's like you gotta be so precise, which is like Colin Morikawa comes to mind too, and it's like guarantee the U.S. Open like kind of just like a top guy is gonna win. Like I feel like no one outside the top 15, like on the 15 maybe like at 18 to
I
Colin
don't know if I
Morikawa like,
agree.
is gonna win at all.
I don't know if I agree that somebody outside there, like we just talked about Gary Woodland 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, but like Gary Woodland winning at Pebble was like that was what 13 under par. Wind wasn't really blowing. It's
Fair.
different. This is a different test in my
The
opinion.
leaderboard was like a major though. Like you had Brooks coming,
Yeah,
like prime Brooks coming down his neck.
Yeah,
no, we did. Like I'm just saying this is like this just seems like it's gonna be like I mean, granted, every major probably does too, but it just screams like all right, it's gonna be one of these top guys. Like I truly believe Scheffler probably has the best chance of winning and probably is going to win. But I don't know. Cam Smith could play well. It's the place he could play well at.
I want to get your guys' opinion on Homa because obviously there's the storyline of he plays well in California. Um, he has the course record 61 here, but like
different course though.
I feel like it's a little. I mean, like they ripped up the greens, right? It's different surface.
Yeah,
It's
Longer
not.
holes,
It's not Poa.
different conditions.
Poa's his surface. I don't know. I feel like
bent
Bermuda's
grass.
hasn't. or that's what
Is Poet
yeah.
is Poet his?
Bermuda fairways is what I meant.
Yeah, but is Poet is he? But does he putt better on Poa than Ben?
Pretty sure. Where do I had the stat somewhere, but pretty sure.
Yeah, Max Home was an interesting. He hasn't been great in majors, which has kind of been his thing. He's coming off a T9th at the Charles Schwab, which I guess is pretty
He's
good.
not
But
playing great recently, but like, I mean,
T8 at the Wells Fargo, not great at the PGA. He hasn't played a lot recently.
that's with him not playing great as he has a T9 and a T8 in his last 3 starts. So
Yeah. I don't know. There's that California thing. I just don't know if this is where it happens. I don't know.
I really hope it does though.
So
I
do
really
I.
hope
But
he's gonna have to figure it out at some point. Like if all the you're thinking storylines, like this is the week to do it, but it's like it's even like you could also argue it's add pressure even to the pressure he already has, and that he's not performing well at the majors. So it's like, does that add more pressure to him? And then the
I'm on
hometown
a
factor.
I'm on like a when I see it. Once he has one
Yeah,
good finish at a major, I'm like, all right, all in on Max Homa now.
I'm in.
But just needs
Because
one
like
next week.
It's got to happen at some point if there's going to be a
Right.
yeah,
place where like it happens. I know we love to say
I
that,
don't
but
see him.
like
I don't see him winning in his first time contending at one of them. Because like he hasn't really contended at any major. It's like I don't see him. I don't see him going out there today or this week and like after all these T40s and cuts, like just all of a sudden just winning. Like I feel like it's like gonna be if he finishes top 20, it's like all right, that's some progress. And he finishes top 10, it's like all right, like watch out for him next year, or watch out for him this year at the Open or the Masters next year. Like it's like now he's like all right, I got a taste of it, and like now I know what I need to do or what I did differently. I can be better.
I don't hate that take. I mean, another Southern California guy that we were talking about, Xander Schauffele. He's been in contention plenty of times.
Yep.
His form at majors is
Yeah.
good.
Quite good.
Very good.
Quite good. So there's
Really?
that.
Am I gonna fall into the trap again? Probably.
Maybe.
But again, he plays well at Augusta. He plays
I
well.
don't think you can just blindly be like, this is Augusta, though.
No, absolutely not. Like it's bent greens, like putting wise. I guess they got same as Augusta. Like I'm taking this the wide fairways, the creativity, the bent greens, and that's like the comp I have. And then because I don't know what other comp there really is, to be honest. Like you could say
It's a
Riv,
quirky
I guess,
course.
but
Like it's different
yeah,
than a lot of the other. It's a U.S. Open setup. I mean, it's not the longest U.S. Open we've ever seen, but it's quirky. Like you have that 70 to 100 yard hole, and then you have a 260 yard par three. So it's you have both sides of the spectrum there. It should be fun.
it's gonna be so much fun.
It'll
Like,
be a
I
great
really
tournament to watch.
and prime time. Oh,
Prime time's
Rory
great.
tees off at 5 o'clock tomorrow. It's so cool.
You can catch me at the local bar watching that outside.
Yeah.
Very excited.
What else? What else? Like, Victor. What do you think about Victor?
I mean, pretty hard to go against Victor right now. I mean, there's the take where it's like, oh, he just won, so is he gonna win again? But like, plenty of guys have done that. They've gotten hot. Scotty last year when he won API, and then the WGC, and then Augusta. So
I mean, Victor quietly is having like he's up. Like his year is probably up there in terms of like it's like probably Rahm and Scheffler like in terms of their seasons, and I'm excluding Brooks because he's not the PGA Tour, but like Victor's right there. He won Memorial. He's top 5 or top 7 at both Augusta and the PGA, and like had a chance to win both, kind of. And then
Basically, yeah.
they won the Memorial, and he's playing as well as anyone, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of Victor this week. The other thing I was saying is because the greens, the grass is just like so high around the greens, which is what you don't normally see that. I feel like usually around the greens they cut it a little bit down, but this week they have around the greens just ridiculous. It kind of almost puts an emphasis on like approach game and like hitting greens. And then if you are in that stuff around the greens, it's a level playing field again. Like Victor might not be the best at that, but it's a level playing field because everybody has to deal with it. So I do like Victor this week a lot, and I think he has the creativity and the long game to match it as well.
Yeah, and he's someone like last year at the Open, it was his first time at the made in a final group and kind of like fell off. And he kind of what I want to see from Max. Like he's kind of gotten more and more of a taste of like, all right, this is what I need to do, and kind of got. I think he's got unlucky in that. Like who knows if he would have won or not? Probably not. But that shot in 16 at the PGA just that was kind of it. But it he's probably the next one that's like, all right, he's gonna win one. Like he seems like he's the next one that's gonna be up there or get there first, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then there's Jordan.
So Trev was talking about how this is going to be a cerebral type of thing where you got to plan it all out. Jordan's goes to the top of my list if it comes to that. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the videos this week that have already been posted in the practice rounds. Jordan is in his element right now. He's talking everything through. Whether anyone's listening to him or not, he's got a dialogue going on inside of his head right now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, there's different ways to do it. There's the Brooks Koepka way of doing it, just being a robot. There's the Sky Scheffler way, just playing boring golf, being a robot. And like there's like the Jordan way, which is kind of, it's unique. It's unlike anything else.
He truly, like I would watch his whole, like if there was a Jordan like Mike on Jordan, I would listen to that just the entire round. Like I wouldn't have to listen to anything else on the course. Like there'd probably be minute 2-minute long conversations in between shots, like talking about like what he could do, and it's like, which is like it's different than, that's why this place is different than like Torrey Pines. Like Torrey Pines, like all right, hit in the fairway, hit in on the green, like you kind of just like survive, or like Winged Foot same way. Like here, it's like all right, you can that 290-yard par 3, you can run it up, you can land on the green, like you could play it different ways, and it makes it so much more interesting. That's why, like at Chambers Bay, Jordan won there, and that's kind of, you hit it 50 yards left of the pin and it might curl back toward like to 5 feet, like on that 18th hole there. So got to think about that too. And yeah, he's not playing bad either. So I don't know. Who knows? This could be, instead of Rory, this could be Jordan's week, I guess.
I would like to see Jordan's name near the top of the leaderboard on Sunday. Whether he wins or not, I need to see it.
I mean, if he's healthy, I think that wrist issue is like not really like that bad. Like I'm pretty sure it happened when he was literally just like playing around with his kid. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think it's just going to come down to Jordan versus Michael Greller.
Truly, I 100% agree.
Another guy I love, who I guess you could describe as a little bit erratic, Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah, I mean, coming off the really low round.
You talk about Victor Hovland having a season up there with the Scotties and Roms. If Tyrrell Hatton has a win on his schedule, he's right there. Because, I mean, I'm going to pull it up right now. It is ridiculous what his form is.
Yeah, he doesn't have the
12, 15, 5, 3.
Yeah, like recently has been great. He doesn't have like the Masters T34, but yeah, T2 players, T4 API. Like every big tournament besides the Masters seems like he's in. He's right there. So he's playing. But yeah, like he's like I don't remember the last time he was really like truly in contention at a major. So it's like I see 2019 Open. But like Shane Lowry won that by like 10.
Yeah, no, he's been up and around the top of the leaderboard, but he hasn't like truly had a chance
he's like
to
top
win.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like I'm not gonna, and that's even more of a Tiro versus Tiro situation,
Right. It's like
especially at
how does he
this point.
deal with that pressure going? Like if
Like what,
he
like I could see him playing off the green on one hole and just having like a meltdown and like complaining to the like about the USGA or something like that. Like that's like this is the tournament that we see
we've lost the
the
What's
like
his
course.
all
U.S. Open
yeah.
history? Pretty good at the
Um,
U.S. Open? Not
I
really.
do like him though a lot. I think he could like if he's gonna his form and everything like he's perfect for this place. But I don't
There's
know.
a lot
Just,
of
again,
there's a lot
just
of dogs. There's just like so many good players that it's
yeah.
inside
And
that
that
top
makes our
20.
and a lot of those dogs we've picked in our one and done.
We
Well,
have.
are we going with Brooks?
So yeah, I do want to mention Brooks because A, that's the title of this podcast, and B, he, you talk about major golf, and Brooks is kind of just that guy.
I mean, yeah, you don't expect people to go back to back majors,
Mm-mm.
but
He's done it
like
twice.
it's Brooks Koepka. Yeah, he's done it. So, and it seems like he's happy he's back to prime Koepka. So why the hell not? Like, I don't think you go with Cam Smith here instead of him if you're trying to go with the live guys to get them out of the way.
I mean, yeah, you kind of can't. I mean, the only thing is now you're going Kepka for back to back, and then Cam Smith for back to back opens, which might not be the worst thing, but just something to think
Unless
about.
you
I don't
don't
really.
go Cam Smith, I don't
Or
think
we
there's
don't.
a need to go
No,
Cam.
I agree. Like I don't think we need to go Cam at the
I think
Open.
there's a need to go Brooks though.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think Brooks makes more sense here than the Open. I think he's uh like I like Cam a lot tier two, but I think he's just we need to see more of him again before like if he competes well here, like all right, we're like all right, Open, lock it in. But if he doesn't play that great, it's like all right, we don't really need Cam at the Open. We can
I
pick
mean,
speed.
Cam's U.S. Open history is not very good. I looked at it and I was
No,
kind of surprised that his U.S. Open form has been pretty bad.
yeah,
So
and that like he's another like guy like Spieth where like he needs the like he's the creativity. He's the like I think of even like Kapalua too. Like
mhm.
people compare that to Augusta. It's like hit it 20 yards right to the green and let it run to the green, like that kind of thing. Like that's what's gonna or like maybe not as much as Kapalua or like that, but similar in that sense. Uh,
Yeah,
but I agree. I think you just can't. I think we can't not pick Brooks. Like we have to pick.
yeah, no, it makes our choice pretty easy. I think we have to, but uh,
Okay. I'll
yeah.
put that in now.
What about guys like, say you're filling out a DFS lineup? Who are some guys down there that we think could play pretty well?
So I think there's a couple. Um, I think one that's really good value considering he's on like the office football pool stuff, like he's 20th in that list, but in DFS he's 6,800. It's Kurt
Jesus,
Kitayama.
that's really low in DFS.
It's not necessarily that like, that I think he can like is gonna win, but like he's won a elevated event and at a really hard course, and he's
Well, at the
6,800.
PGA,
So
Yeah,
like
like
that's just a ridiculous price in my opinion.
I mean, I wonder
Uh,
if he's probably down that low because he's probably not the longest hitter out there. I'm gonna assume.
well, that not every course yet. API is a bomber course.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I wonder how his on iron play is actually. Just like looking at him,
like that.
he's
That's
pretty
what
good
like I
for
think.
200 plus.
Like I don't really think distance matters a whole lot this week. I think it's like more emphasis on approach play.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think it's
long
more
irons,
yeah,
honestly.
like 106 175-yard shots, like in 200 to 200-yard shots. Like that's going to be the most important uh thing because like everyone's kind of going to be hitting they're going to be rolling out and hitting from the same uh spots almost, and then the par threes are all like those are going to be the crucial players.
Yeah, the fairways are running crisp. There's that one
Yeah,
hole I forget which hole it is.
The one where it rolls down like you
Yeah,
hit on the right side.
slopes all the way to
Yeah,
the right. Like you
13.
can't even avoid it. I think it's 13. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 20-yard like landing spot, and if you're just right of it, you're down all the way in the right rough with a blind shot.
Yep. That's a
So
little unfair.
another one that I really like. I mean, there's two guys that are like pretty similar,
Mhm.
and they're right next to each other in price. It's Russell Henley and Mito Pereira.
Totally. I'm in on Russell Henley this week.
Henley,
He's playing terrific.
not a
Yeah, I
great
like
long iron
Pereira.
player though. Not a great long iron player, but he is an excellent approach player, and Mito is obviously an excellent approach player and really good around the greens.
I love Mito this week. I don't like not to win or anything, but just to have him in a lineup. I really
Could
like Mito.
scare him. He could scare it though. He could
Yeah.
scare a
Yeah.
I
win.
mean, kind of like the PGA last year. He probably should have won.
Yeah.
For what
Yeah.
it's worth, he finished third at Live DC as well.
That's
Sure.
yeah. That correlates
However much
definitely.
that matters.
I think that was actually a pretty good leaderboard if I remember correctly too. Danny McCarthy. I mean, I'm just naming a bunch of guys in like the low
I mean,
7K.
we
to
mentioned
high.
Sam
Rose?
Stevens being on good form. Not that he's gonna like win or anything, but if you need to fill out a lineup, he's probably down there.
Can I name a real off the board name?
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
Real off the board. Adam Schenk.
Ooh.
Go to his data golf. He's kind of in form. He's 6,800 in DFS.
Yeah, he's really low down there too on OFP.
It's just one of those ones that I also saw somebody mention him, and then just did some research because I was curious. I was like, Adam Schenk does seem to be one of those guys where you just don't even think about him, and you're like, oh, first round leader, what?
Honestly,
I like
yeah.
Justin Rose. Did you mention that, Pat?
No.
I don't know if you mentioned that or not, but
Who?
Justin Rose, bent
Yeah.
grass greens. He seems like someone who could really like he's playing really well this year. Yeah, I have a hard time believing in someone down like that far, which is like obviously why they're that far down, but I don't think it's like Peters could play. I think is a good decent pick.
Thomas Peters?
Yeah,
Really? Interesting.
yeah, he played well at the PGA.
What about amateurs? Which amateurs do we like?
Sargent's
the guy. Yeah, Sargent's really good. That's what I was about to mention. He hits the ball so far. I think with Aberg going pro, he'll probably be the world number 1 am now. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's Thor, obviously.
yeah, I can't believe he's still an am. Like,
I mean, he didn't play well last week.
I know, but still, I feel like we've been seeing him in events for like 5 years, even though it's only been like 2. But
Yeah. I mean,
I thought Thomas Peters played better at the PGA. Finished T40. I thought it was a lot better.
That's still
than
pretty
that.
good.
Why?
all it takes is one bad day at the PGA to shoot like 12 over. And
Yeah, it's true. Hit it in every rough in that course. How's Adam Hadwin going to do? Is he going to recover from his?
Not because of that, but I
Cage?
don't know. I think a lot of the Canadian guys might just like, I don't know. I think they might not have it this week. I think they might not be sharp. I don't know. Like, you're moving from the Canadian Open to the U.S. Open, which is really draining. Probably, I'm sure that they partied on with Nick Taylor, which I know they did because I know Mark Hubbard did for some reason.
I think you're right. I think it's like kind of they mentally were so locked into the Canadian Open. Like I don't know if you can do that 2 weeks in a row and have this one be the harder of the two mental tests, in my opinion. I do like Scory though. I think he can, like he sets up well for this place. Like you said, like kind of putting kind of equals out all over the course, and obviously he's played well at a major this year already. So like this could be a spot for him, but it's
As
like
somebody who knows, I feel like Scory's game, yeah, it's all there, but like I don't know, something about Scory in LA doesn't really
doesn't
click
really-
with
Doesn't
me.
do it for you.
yeah.
No, it
Scory's
does it
gonna
for me.
win one in like upstate New York.
Trust me,
I
it
just
would
typed,
do
I
it. It
just
would
typed,
do it
I
for
just
me.
typed in Scory on Data Golf instead of Corey.
But like I don't know, something about Scory in LA. I don't know. I mean, Scory Perry, big LA
Anaheim.
guy, big Anaheim guy. But
Yeah.
so I mean, there's a little connection, I guess, for you, but also a Canadian.
Yeah. So, and then one other name I want to mention, Cameron Young. Like, what the hell happened
No,
to him?
Yeah, I
What
saw it was
happened to
injured
him?
early.
He's been playing like terrible recently, and like that, like
In shape.
as of like 2 months ago, I was like, yeah, Cameron Young's winning the U.S. Open. It's gonna set up perfectly for him, and now it's like,
he's
dang,
also
like
just
what
like
is he
not
doing?
very likable.
He's not. You don't
Not
think he's
that like in a
likable?
bad way, not like a hateable way, just like you're just like it's almost got like a Cantley vibe.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
I guess I can see that. Like I feel like we like him more just because we were on him before a lot of people were,
Yeah.
and then like we kind of like followed him and like oh this guy like hits the ball so far. But I agree like the demeanor wise like he doesn't really seem like he doesn't really give a whole lot back. Like I wouldn't say he's Cantlay, but I also don't like Cantlay at all. So
Similar vibes. Yeah.
yeah, I can see how you can make that comparison for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's fallen off quite a bit the last couple weeks, which is concerning. But yeah, that was my U.S.
What
Open
about
pick like weeks
JT
ago.
too?
What'd
Like
you say?
JT creative place.
Yeah, I know
He's
JT's like really low on the odds list too. Like
yeah.
not where I would have expected him to be. So that you got some value there, I think. But yeah, I don't know. No one's really talking about JT right now.
He hasn't done. I mean,
45.
Homa had that quote where he was like he played a practice round with him. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, if we played 18 holes, I think he could have shot a 61, which is a little much, but
who said that?
Homa."
A little insider info.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
No, I wouldn't be surprised too. But like I know like if I'm like filling on my DFS lineup or OFP pool, it's like all right, I'm gonna pick JT. Uh, and then I know like I just know as soon as like the week starts, I'm like this was a mistake. He's gonna finish T50, and then not mean anything.
Gonna make the cut on the number, and then he's
Yeah,
gonna come
like,
like
like
T28.
yeah, exactly. Like he might shoot like a 63 on Saturday.
Just like for his salary, whatever. If you did like a DFS lineup, is like, I mean, you'll take a made cut, but
not from one of your top two guys or
Yeah.
top guy
Yeah.
potentially up there.
yeah, and then one more guy, Hideki. I think Hideki sets up well this week. Really good iron
Yeah.
player. Not a great putter,
on
but
the US
again,
Open,
putting kind of like levels out.
yeah, I agree. Have you seen his US Open form? It's crazy. He like
Honestly, haven't even looked, but
finishes like top 15 every time.
yeah, Hideki just sets up well for U.S.
He-
Open. When when putting's not a factor, it's like Hideki plays well.
If you're on Hideki, if you're like rooting for him on any given week, he's fun to root for because it's just like I don't know, something about like I always remember his 3-wood on 18 that's the Sony.
Yeah.
Electric.
Hideki's not afraid of like a driver off the deck, like out of the rough. Like he'll do that,
No,
which is weird.
he's unfazed and has like kind of like the same. I feel like he has the same vibe as Cantley, but he's just so much more entertaining to. Like he's so much more not a robot. Like that's the word. I don't know what the correct word is, but
Also,
he
bearded Matsuyama is been pretty good. So
yeah.
you got to factor that in to your calculations.
True. Where's your beard, Jeek?
Not here, but yeah.
Anyone else?
Morikawa.
On iron
Last
play.
one.
I feel like I don't hear a ton about Sung Jae, but like also
Yeah.
just like I'm not really about the Sung Jae major life.
Yeah. I think we've gotten to the point where we've like mentioned every player in the field again.
More Sungjae is a more boring, not as good Hideki, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sanjay could turn it on like before the swing. Feel like that's where he gets his wins, but
That's where he
Well,
makes his buck.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He also wasn't in Korea this past week, so maybe he'll fare a little better than he did at the PGA.
True, maybe he got some good home cooking from mom.
I mean, listen,
Yeah.
another great approach player. You can't be surprised if a really good ball striker is at the top of the leaderboard. It's usually what
I mean,
happens, right?
if you have Sky Scheffler, John Rahm, Patrick Cantley, and Sung Jae at the top of the leaderboard in contention on Sunday, like I'm rooting for Sung Jae.
Patrick.
Obviously.
So,
Yeah, I guess.
who would you root for out of those four? Scotty,
Well, what you say it was Ram, Cantlay, Sungjae.
and Sung Jae.
I probably root for Scotty, but only if he's behind. If he's ahead, I'm not rooting for him.
Scotty's not fun when he's in the lead. It's boring.
Scotty's a fun when he come from behind guy.
If he's chasing
very often.
Yeah, I don't want to root for Scotty if he's up by 2 shots. No chance. Like that's what we're scared about at the PGA. Like he's up by 2 going into Saturday, and like we're like he's gonna run away with us. He didn't, but like that's what we're scared of with him.
Yeah,
Definitely not Cantlay. Then not rooting for Cantlay.
And whatever,
but
we've
overall,
mentioned so
if
many
you wanna
names.
guess a winning score.
Oh,
Ooh. I'll go -7. Not crazy, but
yeah, I think that's kind of on
that's
the
more
level
of
of what it's
PGA.
been the last couple years. I think this course is actually going to be gettable, honestly, for somebody. There's trouble everywhere, but I think like there will be some good scores.
Yeah.
So
If
I'm gonna put the
you're playing
number.
well, go ahead.
I'm gonna put the number at like -9, maybe -10. Honestly, it might
Okay.
crack double digits.
I was gonna say I think it's double digits potentially.
I mean I wouldn't be surprised by that, but I don't like. I think you have to be like incredible to shoot. If it's Saturday and the leaders are at -8, like I don't think they're gonna get past 10. Like I think you have to be like really like totally on one to shoot like 63 or 64.
I mean, so 4 years in a row now, the opening round has been -4 or better, which is kind of
Yeah,
a wild
that's like,
stat
but like,
considering the last 3 years -6 was the winning score all 3 of the last 3, and -4 was an opening round lead.
was it really? That's crazy.
That is crazy. Who's first round leader last year?
Good
I
question.
guess that's pretty hard to look up. I feel.
They had one. He was up there.
He had a good tournament. I remember last year. I think he was like 229 or something like that.
He was definitely up there first round.
I could find it pretty easily, just not easily, but just a second. First round.
It was probably Rory.
It was Hadwin. Good memory.
Let's go.
Good call. Good call.
Weird first round leaderboard. Honestly, it was Hadwin, MJ, Duffy, yeah, Duffy.
Oh, yeah.
Joel Damon, David Lingworth, and then Rory and Callum Tarrant.
All right, so
That's probably like all in on Rory at that point.
I think before we head into winners, I think we give out the Nick Taylor of the Week award because he did win last week. So who's going to be the Nick Taylor this week?
Well, I think if you're talking Nick Taylor of the Week, who just won in Canada for the first time in however long, you gotta go with someone from the West Coast or LA. Like I want to say like Max Homa, but that's too obviously like too chalky. God, I know who else is from LA. Isn't Ricky Fowler from California?
He's from Marietta.
Yeah. So he's playing still well. He's still pretty far down there on the.
Sure.
I could definitely see that, and that's like kind of like the level of RBC Canadian going to Nick Taylor this going to Ricky Fowler, like that kind of story of hometown and underdog in comparing to the fields.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Sergio Garcia will be the Nick Taylor of the week.
That'd be that. I would
That'd be
honestly.
great, honestly.
I think it'd be very cool.
Be cool if him and Phil played well.
I'm going way off the
It'd be
board
cool.
for the Nick
And then
Taylor.
it'll be in the press conference. He'll be getting the trophy, and he'll like mother f the PGA Tour the whole rest of that.
Probably.
It'd be great.
I'm going way off the board. Just throwing a dart. Nick Hardy for the Nick Taylor of the week. Don't ask me why.
I don't hate that.
Just
Nick
Hardy for the Nick Taylor of the week. He went in his U.S. Open qualifying event. Pretty funny. He went 71-61 and made it in.
Sheesh.
What's that? Like 11 under?
Yeah. Like 71 is borderline like don't come back for the second round.
Yeah. Drink a couple White Claws like Damon.
Yeah. God, next season of Full Swing is going to be even better.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Well, that like this. Did you guys talk about? I know I'm a little late. The timing of what Jim or Monahan.
Yeah, we decided that we decided the take is that it's just annoying that Live Golf and this whole thing is just we're just not talking about it.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is just whether it's inconvenient timing or not, like it doesn't like it. They could have said. They could have said, "Oh, he's been sick for weeks," or they wouldn't have said he's been sick for weeks because that would look really bad on the tour. But they could have said like, "Oh, he got sick yesterday," and people would have been like, "Oh, why'd you say he got sick yesterday? Has he been sick for weeks?" Like, so there's just not. It's just a no-win situation for anyone.
Very
really.
bizarre, honestly, and like the lack of details is very weird too. But yeah, we'll have to see.
What a wild 2 weeks of golf.
So
Going from Live the merger to Adam Hadwin getting decleated on the 18th green after a 75-foot putt to Monahan being
did
sick.
his shoes fall off?
No, like I'm just saying, like he's got like.
I was gonna say that
got
would have been
yeah.
visual that I didn't see.
That security guard saw the pulling guard and shot the gap and just took him out.
The funniest thing I saw was there was like the on the NFL top 100 when they like talk about the player, like they're like oh, his speed and explosiveness is so quick, and they show like that like a slow-mo highlight video of the defensive
I think
end.
Adam Hadwin fell quite gracefully.
I think he did too. I think it was, and like I'm happy that he and his wife were like joking about it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, his wife
When I
like that
saw
he
it, I was like,
apologized in true Canadian form.
Yeah.
When I saw that it happened, I was like, wow, I would be so pissed. And I'm like, well, that's just Adam Hadwin's a better man than me, I guess.
Yeah,
He's Canadian.
Like,
he's a Canadian.
I haven't seen a video of like what happened after, like the tackle, like after they got out. Like I wonder, like I'm
the caddy
I'm
starts.
dying to know what happened.
The caddy starts like running over, being like, no, don't tackle him.
Yeah.
And then I think all was good, but still pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then final thing, winners. Gun to your head. Actually, not gun to your head. Just like, you can include the value of it. Who's your winner?
I'm going with Jordan Spieth. Yeah, I'm going with Jordan Spieth. I just want to see it. I want to see the chaos of Spieth, and I think this place kind of sets up for some Spieth chaos. So I'm into it. Jordan Spieth. I
will be playing into the California storyline, into this storybook ending, and I'm gonna say Max Homa.
And we watch.
And there goes his pick is Abraham Answer.
Answer or Shoffley, flip a coin.
Yeah. Throwback. Great days of the podcast back then. That's a deep cut again.
Yeah.
I gotta start writing down these deep cuts that keep coming through. They're great.
I mean, if the deepest of deep cuts is what's his name? I already forgot his name. That's not good.
Ches
Reavie. Yeah. Deepest of deep
I mean,
cuts.
yeah,
There.
that's like the OG. That's like the OG guy for us. I mean, why was it? It was
He
because
won the
we were
Travelers.
yeah, yeah. If it wasn't for COVID, we probably would have been to gone to the Travelers that year and interviewed Chez Reavie. We were talking about how your pick is Abraham Answer. I picked Homa. He picked Spieth.
Spieth, yeah.
Speed. I'll go if you pick. I was gonna pick Speed, so if you go Speed, I'll go Scotty. I just think he's gonna win.
But if I go like, I I think like Rory, too though.
That's
I'm just throwing two
very,
names out
very,
there.
very quiet, Rory.
I don't know.
God, I would love to
I
see
can
it,
see
but
it.
Rory's on probation right now for me.
No, no, no. I would never touch it in like any way, shape, or form
No,
in like the pool that we do or anything. But like,
no, I'm never. I agree. I'm never touching him again. But I'm
no, he's
gonna.
dead to me that way. But like, part of my brain, which I'm glad I'm ignoring it, is just kind of like, but Rory. He has an extra wedge in the bag this week, so he can mess up with yet another club.
He can
I
mess
just
up
know he's
from
gonna get to.
120 as well.
I just know he's gonna get to 15 on Saturday or Sunday or whatever day. It's like 70 yards, and he's gonna airmail the green, and like that's gonna be like
It's a
the
really
teleport
small
sign
green,
will be
right?
that
It's like a
15th hole.
strip.
Yeah, it's like I think
Well
it's like
protected.
it's a little strip in front with a little bit of open area to the right, and like just covered by rough and
I
back and
mean,
front, and then it curves around. It's like a L
they're
almost.
talking about like that little strip in the front. Like they're talking about if the pin is at the front to lay up on the 70-yard par 3 to that strip.
It's so sick.
Like I think guys are gonna do it. Like they're gonna lay up on that hole.
I really hope they do. That'd be so much fun to
Like
watch.
you have the
What was it?
290-yard par 3. They're not gonna lay
15?
up on that one, but the 78-yard par 3, they're gonna lay up to the strip if the pin's at the front. So they have to have the pin at the front.
That's so awesome.
It's the 15th hole.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now.
Watch the Friday flyover video. Like they show every hole. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and
I'll do
Colin Morikawa is talking about the layup that he's gonna do it, and I think others as well.
That's so awesome. I can see Rory winning, but I'm not gonna. He will not be in any lineup of mine. I will miss out on winning money, but I will win emotionally. That's which I'm totally fine with if he wins.
Sure. All right, let's get in the clubhouse at the end of the week. Cheek, you had a nice little trip to Cape Cod.
Yeah, it was fun. Played 4 rounds of golf in 3 days. So we went
Sweet.
up Friday. We played around like middle of the day Friday. Then on Saturday we woke up at the crack of dawn. We had the first tee time at this place, and we played
That's
then. And then we took naps, and then had a twilight round like 4 o'clock. And then the next morning we drove back towards Connecticut, New York, and played in Rhode Island. This ridiculously long course. Yeah, played pretty consistent throughout the week.
What was
It didn't
called
break
again?
80. What'd you say?
What was the one called again? That was
Meadowbrook Golf Club, maybe 2 words. It's in like Wyoming, Rhode Island. Yeah.
Beats, man.
Anyway, we were just looking for courses on the way back, and like the back tees at that course were like 7,500 yards. We didn't play those, but I was playing with some like better golfers than me, so we ended up playing the second to back, and it was still like 7,200 yards. So it was tough, but I basically was very consistent the whole weekend. I think I shot 290s and 293s, which I wasn't really counting my scores as we got to the final hole. Probably would have broken 90 at least once if I was thinking about it, but yeah, is what it is.
I would argue maybe
Maybe it would have been worse. Maybe it would have been worse.
Better not to know.
Yeah, my last hole on that trip was my like worst hole of the week, which is unfortunate, but
That is unfortunate.
Well, at least you got to play Cape Cod, play 4 times in 3 days. That's more than I've played.
and I'm doing it.
combined.
I'm again this weekend. I'm playing 4 times in 4 days, so a lot of golf.
What are you playing?
I'm going to Jersey, playing in Jersey with my friend. Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I play Silvermine with my dad for Father's Day, and then Monday we're playing hopefully at Centennial again.
Right. I forgot we were doing that.
I've heard Centennial is good.
We
My
played the
friend
first
We
9
played
holes.
we played the first 6 holes
6 holes.
and got stuck on a hill in the rain.
It was bad. He almost died. Jeek almost died, actually. Jeek almost
Yeah.
flipped a cart full weight right on himself. Your leg would have been
some
you
of
would've been Alex Smith.
some of my best driving right there to rescue
Some
that.
of your best. God rained down some luck on you.
Yeah, I can't
Never
believe
wanna be in the car with you.
they let us go out there at that time, but hopefully it doesn't rain this
Yeah,
time.
considering how hilly it is, that was dumb to let us take a cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
I didn't play 18 holes this weekend, but I did play 9 on Monday. I played like 14, but I only kept score on 9. 41. Game's coming
Yeah.
back after shooting 83 last time. And that's with a 6 on the easiest hole in the course. Or second
Was it
easiest.
3?
3.
Yeah, probably the easy. I would say the easiest hole.
And a
on
3
that
putt
night.
from 10 feet.
Yeah, the easiest green on that night too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't wait to
For
go
sure.
back to Silvermine and play after playing like some longer courses.
Some real courses.
Yeah, some actual courses.
Hey, Trevor, don't you say that about Silvermine without.
Silvermine's
Have
a
you
tough
ever
test.
broken 80 at Silvermine?
Oh, I mean, I say it every time I come home, or think about Silvermine. I'm like, I should be able to shoot like 75 consistently there. And I get there, I'm like this, like, and then I get there, I'm so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
I
It's
can't
just
I can't
so
putt there.
uncomfortable.
My putting really lets me down, and like thinking about like my handicap shooting, like 90s is like moving my handicap down at other courses, but like at Silvermine you have to break 80 for your handicap to go down, so there's no way.
Yeah, if I shoot 80, my handicap, like
Well, it
the
will
difference
skyrocket.
is like 13. Yeah, it's not good.
The greens are just tricky. It's hard to like make putts, and like Pat has it down, but for some reason I go everywhere else and I like putt the ball like decently well. Like I didn't have a lot of 3 putts this weekend, but Silvermine, like every other green is like one. So I
I
don't
think
know.
putting's just like the strong part of my game. I don't know.
I think it's been like that for a couple of years now. Just
Since you've gone
or like at
cross
least a
grip.
year.
I mean, it's just, yeah, since the cross grip. And also, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's the easiest part of the game. Everything else is so complicated. It's just like, all right, read the green. Where's it going? Right or left? Right. Okay. Put the ball back and forth.
And like we're all like athletes, so it's like 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 you look at the hole and just like, all right, I know how hard to hit it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, my whole thing is I hit it the right pace, and then it just doesn't go. I like read more break than there is a Silvermine, so.
Yeah. I haven't played
Yeah.
in a week. I might play Sunday or Saturday, but it's been a struggle to get out to play. But I might be coming to Connecticut, maybe early July. It's who
I won't
knows.
be there in July. I'm just gone.
You're just gone off the grid.
I'm like literally, I'm in Cape Cod in California for like 20 days.
Well, it's better than Connecticut, probably though.
Yeah. All right, we can wrap up there. I am so excited for primetime golf tomorrow.
Cannot
Thursday.
wait.
Although I am a little bummed that when I wake up, it won't be golf right away, but
Also true.
golf at like 9:45.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Good enough.
Better.
It's
It's
45 minutes.
lot of. I'm used to watching golf at work, and now it's going to be like, all right, Rory's teeing off at 5 right when I'm going to get it home from work, and so it's going to be. There are going to be some unhappy significant others on the East Coast this week. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Primetime
And
golf.
Father's
And Father's Day. Sunday finish. Primetime Father's Day. That's nice.
It'll be great. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Enjoy, everybody.